Hey guys, Nick here with another episode of 9to5Crypto. And if you ever asked yourself the question, why? Why is the sky falling? Why, oh God, why?
Keys are locked inside the car.
Why is the world full of chaos? You might have asked yourself those questions. I don't have answers to those particular questions, but you might have also asked yourself questions like, why did I miss out on this 10x opportunity, 50x opportunity, 100x opportunity on some of these crypto investments over the past bull cycles? Well, guys, I think partially it's about identifying opportunities when you see them, also value propositions behind certain projects, the utility, and other attributes and things. But I think I've actually identified a handful of potential projects that may or may not 100x. Again, all speculation. Let me say that a couple times. Speculation, not price prediction. I can't determine the future, so don't listen to me, just a YouTuber out here that might not be wearing pants. Leave a comment down in the comments section below if you know where that reference comes from, or another YouTuber that may say it a couple times in his videos. But guys, this is all speculation, and again, not to be taken as a price prediction, but these are projects that I believe realistically could reach these 100x opportunities. And these are projects that I regularly dollar cost average in on, and I do go ham from time to time, aka backing the truck up. Told you I was backing the truck up. But guys, let's get to the breakdown right now. All right, guys, the first project we'll be talking about today that I believe has 100x potential in it is called Equilibrium Games. And yes, they are a competitor to Gala Games, the big bad Gala Games that I love and hold dear to my heart. They're a competitor in the Web3 blockchain gaming space, bringing NFTs and blockchain games to the XRP ledger, which I think is super unique and super cool because the XRPL is a super lean, mean, killing machine of a chain that essentially keeps transaction costs very minimal and also has a very fast transaction speed. So I think about, blockchain games and people minting NFTs and such in marketplaces. I just think the XRPL is a really good place to do it. You can also see some of their basic tokenomics on this page. The maximum total supply is 100 million tokens, which we'll touch on that in a moment and why that's so important. But essentially 80% of these are airdrops incentives directly to the community, which I think honestly can encourage one of two things. It can encourage selling off, but I think it can also encourage hodling from a community aspect where a lot of these token supply is spread pretty evenly throughout people that are participating in the ecosystem being built, which is really cool. So it pays to be early. Again, hint, hint, get in early on some of these projects, guys. You want to be ahead of people, not chasing people and chasing pumps. Be in before the green candle comes, But also 20% is earned. So all the different EQ coin, Equilibrium coin, will be earned via different games on their platform. So essentially any game that's being developed there will have its own tokenized asset. So for example, Hodlmon that I played in my previous video, which is a playthrough, and I'll leave that down in the description below, that has a coin called Hodl coin, and that coin is the in-game currency for Hodlmon. You will be able to earn that per different game that you're playing on Equilibrium Games, but also you're going to get a passive income of Equilibrium coins themselves via each game that you're playing. So that's pretty cool. So essentially what that means is that you're not just going to be earning one type of coin per game you're playing, but you're going to be earning two types of coins with each game that you play in Equilibrium Games, which has, a lot of benefits. Two coins are usually better than one coin, unless it's a shit coin. And then, well, if you think it's a shit coin, don't invest in shit coins. Equilibrium coin is also available on BitTrue, which I think is a solid exchange. I've had good, reasonable experiences with them. They haven't crashed on me, they haven't taken my assets, etc. But you should probably self-custodian your assets in general. So self-custody is very important. You can do that with like a Ledger Nano X or Ledger Nano S device, but cold wallet storage, self-custody is the way to go in general. But I've had really good experiences with the BitTrue exchange in case you are interested in picking up some Equilibrium today. It also has a lengthy white paper here, but I'm not going to dive into that. I'm doing a separate video directly over Equilibrium Games and everything that they have to offer. So keep an ear out for that. That'll be dropping soon. But essentially, they have disclaimers, introductions, play to earn models, details, blockchain games, NFTs, Equilibrium Games, mission, and features. So they have tons of different information here. I will link this down in the description below in case you want to read ahead of the Equilibrium overview deep dive project that I'm going to be covering shortly. And they have games. Yes, games, guys. That's the whole point of metaverse, different tokens, and GameFi and Web3 gaming is that you want to know more about the games. Are they making good games? Well, as you can scroll through here, you can see different games that are in development. There is the World of Equilibrium, which is going to be an MMO. There's Blight's Wrath, which is a fantasy RPG. Hodomon, which I have a video. I'll put that down in the description below, like I said before. But that is essentially a Pokemon type game that is actually pretty enjoyable, and the developers have a lot of personality, and you can see that in their game with all their different references. And if you're, you know, Ripple SEC follower, you might even recognize some of the references in there, such as Gary Gensler. And then there's also other people from like Ethereum that, you know, work and build Ethereum, such as Vitalik Buterin. So it's a pretty cool game. It's got really good references in there, and the developers have tons of different characters that you can interact with, and also a lot of character in themselves to put, you know, funny things in their game. And you can see that they have handfuls of other games listed here, so it's not a huge list. It's a little bit less than what's selling Galley Games right now, but it's pretty comparative, and I think it's looking pretty promising. But I'll have a new playthrough coming out for XR Dragon Knights as well shortly. So again, guys, tons of content's coming here. If you enjoy Web3 gaming, blockchain gaming, and a goofy goofball, and a person that really puts some cheese on the goofballs, a cheesy goofball, I digress. But if you enjoy someone being goofy and just having fun playing blockchain games, consider sticking around. And jumping over to their Twitter page, Equilibrium Games, yes, they have quite a following that is building. They have almost 31,000 followers. They also followed me back, so fist bump shout out to Equilibrium Games, and whoever runs your Twitter, thank you for following me. I really do appreciate that. That was new, and that is really cool of you guys to engage with your community. They also do airdrops and different things of those sorts, as we had mentioned prior, to the community, so it pays to be early. So if you actually want to come in here and play test their games, follow their Twitter account. I will link their Twitter handle down there just so you make sure you actually have the correct Twitter handle, because there are scammers in crypto. There's scammers in the world. Scammers suck. But, you know, I'll make sure that the legit one's down there. But they have tons of different opportunities where you could actually earn EQ for free. So pretty cool stuff. And finally, guys, we're on to my favorite part. Money makes the world go around. You know, not my favorite part. I actually just enjoy playing video games, always have. But, you know, these things are also assets and investments, and you can get a return on your investment, right? That's the whole point of blockchain games, is it's freeing up digital assets and making sure that you can actually own them and transfer them for real world value, which is super freaking cool. So if you're here into blockchain gaming, you're probably kind of interested. What kind of potential investment is this as well? Well, guys, I believe this is one of the 100x potential projects. Again, nothing is guaranteed. Any of these companies, organizations that support these projects, support these chains, they could always go under. That support could fall through, which can be somewhat detrimental, you know. But again, these are decentralized to a degree, which is a spectrum, right? Decentralization is, it's not a really binary thing. It's a yes or no. It's more of a spectrum, like how decentralized something is. But it is a fairly decentralized chain. It's in multiple people's hands. It's going to be airdropped against a different, you know, variety of people that are actually paying attention in the community. And it's also going to be earned passively through every gamer that decides to play something on the Equilibrium Games. So the asset itself will be very decentralized. But again, things can happen. Shit can go awry. When shit hits the fan, who knows? So always proceed with caution. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Do a risk assessment and make sure that you're just careful with what you're investing. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose. That is the alma mater, the saying, I guess, if you will, the chant that you should be chanting every time you go to bed after looking at coin market cap for 3.5 hours because the market's volatile again. But guys, when you are price speculating, again, speculating, not predictions, because I'm not Nostradamus. Insert magical sound or something. But again, you can speculate and have a realistic idea if you actually just zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. It's as true as it is. If you look over here and it's over $1 that people were buying this back in December of 2021 for over $1, it is now below 10 cents. So you can kind of get an idea on where your entry price is, comparatively speaking, to where the price has been and where people have been buying it previously. Further, understanding that market cap is the current price times the circulating supply will also give you an idea of how much money roughly is in this asset. And I say roughly because this is the last bid price times the circulating supply. So that just means that, you know, every price leading up to that, it's slightly less and less and less. It's not 1-to-1 ratio. but it gives you a good kind of idea. Right now we can see that the market cap is roughly 7 million. So we can make a couple assumptions to simplify this process a little bit. Again, market cap equals last bid price of coin, or the current price, times circulating supply, and assume circulating supply equals 100 million. Again, it was 83 million here, but we're just going to round up and simplify. Assume price is 10 cents versus 8 cents, simplify. And then we can take 100 million times 10 cents, which equals 10 million today in market cap. So again, that would make it actually worth a little bit more than it actually is here at roughly just sub 7 million. But again, just assuming, because we're just trying to simplify this whole mathematical process, because math is hard, kids. But the more you know, the more you know. And that knowing is half the battle, right? Some saying is in there.
That's no lie. Now we know.
And knowing is half the battle.
But anyway, 100x or 100 times 10 million. So again, if you wanted 100x 10 million, that dollar value that's actually in that coin today, you would then get 1 billion. God knows when this could happen. No one really knows. I can't tell the future, but it is theoretically possible given the current market conditions. It's not more money than's in the market. It's definitely doable. There are multiple different projects that have over $1 billion worth in them. So this getting up to $1 billion worth is definitely possible. Just peeking over here at CoinMarketCap, if you look at all the different projects here, you can see that their market caps are listed. Right now, Bitcoin has roughly $437 billion in it. Yes, $437 billion, not million, dollars in it. And we're just looking for a project to get 1 billion pumped into it. So if you scroll all the way down here, past the 49th spot, right here, about 50th spot to 49th, 49.5, you would have our project Equilibrium Games potentially making it. So again, if at 100x, it would just now be a project that's roughly 49 to 50th in place. And again, guys, this is after the market went from over $3 trillion worth to sub $1 trillion worth of money in the market. So just think about over time as well, given the context is important. Over time, more money can pile into this market, trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars potentially, that where all these market caps would just be even further inflated, thus making it even more realistic that Equilibrium Games could reach up there. But again, even in current market conditions, after everything is sold off this much and the bears have been ruling for a while, you could look at this and say, well, Equilibrium Games, do I believe it could make it to be a top 100 project? Well, I personally do. I think blockchain gaming is going to be huge. Web3 gaming is huge. There's hundreds of billions of dollars just in gaming in general, and we're all becoming more and more connected online, just like you're watching this video right now. And I guarantee you've probably played a video game in your life. Leave me a comment down below in case you haven't, but I'll call bullshit either way. But I digress. I think it's more than realistic that you could actually have a project called Equilibrium Games, that token, do 100x. All right, for our second project that has a potential to 100x realistically, in speculation, I keep reiterating it throughout this video because you should always do proper risk management. Do not over leverage. Do not do things to set you up for failing positions. Do not just put all your eggs in one basket. Just be careful out there, because crypto is essentially a gamble at the end of the day, because life is essentially a gamble. There's risk to everything, including crypto, the most volatile asset class in the world. That being said, the second one is about Gala Games and their game called Mirandis. There's an in-game currency called Ethereum, which if you paid attention or watched a couple of my videos, you would be realizing that there is free opportunities to get free Ethereum, which is really cool, because at the end of the day, that free Ethereum has a potential to 100x and turn into a lot of money. And trust me, honey, money is cool. But if you make your way over to the Gala Games page, you can check out Mirandis. And I'm over here scrolling past it, I'm sure. There she is. Click down here on Mirandis. People that are unfamiliar with the project, it is an open world epic fantasy RPG. It is something that reminds me of RuneScape. And I think that that's a pretty important thing, because RuneScape is a pretty damn popular game. I mean, it came out originally, I think, what, 2001, and was there versions of RuneScape before that? I'm not sure. Leave a comment down below if you know, but it's been out for a while. I think at least over two decades. So that's some pretty good success, and there's still people playing. As you can see here, there's still well over 100,000 concurrent players typically online at peak times during the day. Over 295 million accounts have been created over the last 20 years, and while many might be inactive today, a great portion of those are still going strong. So if this can be essentially the blockchain version of RuneScape, and it has a big company behind it that is supporting its developmental processes, and there are people that are into it, which you can see because their in-game characters are selling out. And again, this is just, they're selling out on the Gala Games store. You can always buy these secondary from other players and other NFT holders like myself. But these are the exemplars, the characters that come with specific attributes and different abilities per NFT that you can go earn or get or buy. And many of the ones that were up for sale are actually sold out. So the highest rarity of elves and halflings are completely sold out. Orcs are 74% sold, dwarfs 82%. Humans are on the brink of selling out from the Gala Game Store. But again, if you go through trusted, verifiable sources and links, go out to OpenSea and look for the verified blue checkbox. Make sure you hover over it, and it does say it's trusted. There's some people that try to copy an image and make it look like it's trusted, but I digress. My point is just be safe on OpenSea buying from secondary sellers, but you definitely can, considering that we've been in kind of a bearish trend for a while, or a bear market, whatever you want to call it. Those prices on those NFTs have drastically gone down. So they're actually cheaper from secondary sellers that actually want out from the project or just want out from the exemplar right now, which I think is a huge opportunity to pick up some exemplars on the cheap, which these are NFTs that you're going to be able to play as in Mirandis, the open world esque game that's like RuneScape that I think is going to be super popular as an MMO, and it's going to be probably fun, and you're going to be able to, you know, have camaraderie with your friends and actually earn passively Materium. Pretty cool. There are other land deeds as well. You can actually earn or own properties here. People can own castles. Now, granted, most of these have been priced out, but there were small houses and small sheds, barns, etc. that you could own early on. A lot of these have gotten drastically more expensive from the store, but again, if you look at OpenSea and secondary sellers, some of these people that might be fearful or may just be de-risking at this point in the market might be selling them for cheaper. So it's definitely worth a look, but you can own these different places, and essentially when people are using them, you're earning. So it's pretty cool. And not just that, but you're going to be able to set sell in Mirandis again too. So I think that's a huge aspect. Having a sea that's explorable is freaking awesome. Have you ever played Assassin's Creed Black Flag? Man, the ship combat in that was pristine, and then it carried over to other Assassin's Creed games like Odyssey and stuff. So it's, you know, I think it's got all the mechanics. It's got a team behind it that could be very successful, and I think that it's going to be a big project. But I also have videos previously, so if you go to my channel's page and you go through the videos, you can go see a video where I do a deep dive analysis over Mirandis and Gala Games as a whole. And yeah, more details on that. But jumping over to the Materium, the sweet price of Materium. As you can see right now, Materium is worth about 20 cents. The max supply is about 6 million roughly. I do have some questions because there's a discrepancy here. The self-reported circulating supply is somehow over the max or total supply. So I do not know if there's going to be more coins minted eventually or things like that. But if this is a finite supply, assuming that it is roughly a circulating supply of 7 million tokens, this could be a token that could do well over 100x. Let me show you how. First of all, if you're even interested in Materium, it's always good to zoom out, like I said on the previous token, but you can see kind of where you're at in buying in comparison to the rest of the market and where people bought previously. This token was getting bought up at over 90 cents a pop, and now it is down here in the gallows, if you will, at 20 cents. So it is a pretty good entry in my opinion. Things can always go worse or go lower. There are coins that have crashed and burned damn near to zero, if not zero. So pay attention to that. But again, I think you have overall a better entry than anyone that had it up at 40 cents, 50 cents, or 90 cents. So that is something positive. And this is a coin that I've been dollar cost averaging into because I believe in its future value. So for Materium's price, we can assume a couple things again to make the math a little bit more simplified when we're thinking about these things. Market cap equals last bid price of a coin, current price times circulating supply. Assume circulating supply equals 10 million. Assume price is 20 cents, which it currently sits. We're assuming the circulating supply is actually a little higher than what's listed. I'm kind of doing this because there's a discrepancy here, and again, to simplify with the math. But you can assume that 10 million times 0.2 or 20 cents would equal $2 million in total market cap today, which is crazy because that's in crypto. That's not a lot of money. That's like nothing. It's peanuts, right? And it's peanuts where the space is going, in my opinion. But if that were to 100x from now, this position, 100x or 100 times 2 million would equal $200 million. So again, if we come over here to CoinMarketCap and we start at the top, we start in hundreds of billions of dollars with Bitcoin. We have to scroll all the way down. Now we're starting into hundreds of millions. We have to go to page 2. So we're outside the top 100 projects. Scroll all the way down here. And you can see that it falls roughly to about 138 to 139th position. I mean, this is a game that I think is going to be very successful. It has a big company backing it. It has utility. It has real in-game assets that you can play with and demo and play the alphas and get rewards in Ethereum right now. It's a coin that's out there that you can get. And I'm going to make a guide on how to get it because it's not exactly straightforward if you're newer to crypto. You have to use a decentralized exchange, a DEX, if you will, called Uniswap to swap for this token. But as you can see, just to make it 100x is super duper realistic in my opinion, but can it do more? Well, jumping back over here to our chart, if we 500x or 500 times 2 million, instead we get 1 billion. So again, if you do the same math here, 200 times 5, bringing it up, you know, 100 times 5, 500 times, etc. I'm sure you hopefully get that. I might be convoluting this, but 500x or 500x times 2 million would equal 1 billion. So where does that fall now? Jumping back over to CoinMarketCap, we started at the top once again, and then we have to scroll back down to a similar position that we found, equilibrium, right? Between the 49th and 50th in CoinMarketCap. So realistically, even with as much as this market's deflated right now, this coin could 500x in current bearish market conditions, which are hopefully reversing right now, but God knows what comes next. But regardless, if you believe in the future of crypto, you believe in the future of blockchain games, this asset could do over a 500x. Over a 500x. That's insane to me. If you put $1,000 in this project, you would be a half a millionaire from one investment. A single investment. That's insane, but it's possible. It's possible in these current market conditions, and that's probably what really makes it insane, and the fact that it could even go past that. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm bullish on Ethereum. I'm bullish on Mirandis. It's one of my favorite upcoming games. I playtest all the playtests, and I'm having fun doing it. So last time you got to shoot goblins in their asses, and it was fun. You know, you're just going around bowing goblins in their asses, and it was a good time, and you got Ethereum for it. So again, pay attention to the playtests in case you want news or anything on that. Stay tuned, because if I hear anything like that, a playtest coming up where you can get free Ethereum, I'm gonna let you know. All right, and for our third and final coin that could potentially 100x is none other than Townstar. Townstar is a town and farming game that is reminiscent of Farmville, and that is important because the CEO of Gallo Games, Eric Schreimer, he was a co-founder of Zynga Games, and Zynga Games, they created a little game known as Farmville. You may or may not be familiar of. It's an older game, but there apparently are still people that play it, and it was a game that originated on Facebook that was very, very popular. Townstar is very similar to that, but is a play-to-earn blockchain NFT game where you can win and prizes and trade NFTs, and a lot of people play it. So there's over 600 million people that have played town and farming games, essentially, and there's different NFTs that you can get here that regularly sell out. I know a lot of different people that play Townstar. I personally don't play it a lot, but it is essentially a business kind of farm simulator that you can simulate your success, and the more successful you are, the more that you're earning, and the more NFTs that you have on your farm increases that threshold of earning. Taking a peek over at Farmville, its comparison, if you will, success is after launching on Facebook in 2009, Farmville became the most popular game on the site and held the position for over 2 years. At its peak in March 2010, the game had 83.76 million monthly active users. Active users, not just people that are passerbys, like people that are actually using this game, playing this game, which is pretty insane. Daily active users peaked at 34.5 million players. And here you can see Eric Schreimer. There is his LinkedIn. I don't see his photo, but you can also look at his experience and verify that yes, he was a founder or co-founder of Zynga Games, and he helped make sure that games like Farmville succeeded on that platform. So that is pretty cool stuff. Jumping quickly over to Townstar's price. Well, right now it is only 2 cents, which is a big fall off from where it was recently. And you can actually look at its daily chart, but again, when in doubt, zoom out. If you're looking for entries and you're trying to consider where a good entry is, you can jump from month to month and look at the monthly entry and see if it's good. But overall, it's just better to zoom out on this one. You can see that it was going for over $2 a coin at one point, which is awesome, but insane where it is right now, considering it is 2 cents. There are going to be more token burns. There apparently was some token burns on Townstar coin already, but I believe more are planned in the future. But essentially the circulating supply right now is about 273 million Townstar token. So if we go over here and look at my handy dandy little drafted up, scratched up, written up with chicken scratch word chart, you can see that we're assuming the circulating supply is 300 million, so we rounded that up. We can assume that the price is about 2 cents, so it's roughly where it is, rounded it down a little, but 300 million times 2 cents or 0.02 is 6 million today, which would make its market cap roughly 6 million, which if you look over here on the chart itself is roughly a little over what the market cap's reporting currently. So if we take that and we take that times 100, we could get 600 million in market cap. Where does that fall in the grand scheme of other crypto projects? Looking back over the main page on CoinMarketCap, you can scroll down. Got to get below the billions here. So we're past the 50th spot. And then we're roughly at 68th through 69th rank in CoinMarketCap. So again, this is a game that is reminiscent of Farmville. It had great success on Facebook. It's a game that, you know, for ease of access and entry level, it's pretty, you know, easy for people to pick up and play and understand. Maybe harder to master, but a game that, you know, a lot of different people could probably play. It's not exactly like a high-speed first-person shooter that some people just really don't like or might just not play very well, considering things are moving around the screen very fast, but it's something that you could play essentially, you know, in a phone browser. And I think it's going to get ported to mobile hopefully someday soon. If it isn't already, last time I played it was just in my browser on my iPhone, which was overall an enjoyable experience, but if it was actual application on the App Store, I would be euphoric. I'd be over the moon for this game, and I'd probably play it more. But again, a game that, you know, is playing off of similar type games, Farmville's success, that had similar team, similar leadership, that had a team developing that game. Well, I have some confidence in this project, and I believe more and more people are going to adopt and play Townstar into the future. And as that grows, I think 100x opportunity, 100x potential in Townstar isn't unrealistic one bit. All right, guys, that is a wrap on 100x potential altcoins. These are primarily focused around metaverse, gaming, GameFi, blockchain, gaming, coins, whatever you want to call them. These are cryptos that I believe in, types of different projects that I've been regularly dollar cost averaging in, and you know, I think it's very realistic that these could all 100x or more, especially if this market gets bullish again and we get trillions of dollars more coming back into it. It could be a really awesome time to be a long-term hodler, long-term asset investor, long-term blockchain gamer in this space. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What 100x potential opportunities are you looking at, and what kind of assessment do you give them? Do you look at the background of the project, the game itself, like what it's offering as a play style? Do you look at what kind of comparative type games it could be like and how many active users and daily users? Did you do an analysis similar to mine or something different altogether? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, guys, like I like to say, coffee's on me.